Aloha, everyone. In the past week or so, I didn't have my phone, and there was a lot of inward seeing taking place, or what some people call the inward journey, inward seeking. I like the inward seeing. And after reading a book, this one, Handbook to Higher Consciousness, took me 2 days to read it. Excuse me. It brought up something that I realized that I wanted to apologize about. And I know and experience the perfection of creation, but I also feel that in my highest joy and authenticity, which is apparently why a lot of people like to watch these videos I do and read the things that come through this writing for writing, is because of the authenticity of it. And in this book, it goes over the 12 centers of consciousness. So I'm going to read that really quick, and then I will go from there. The 7 centers of consciousness. 1. The security center. This center makes you preoccupied with food, shelter, or whatever you equate with your personal security. This programming forces your consciousness to be dominated by your continuous battle to get enough from the world in order to feel secure. 2. The sensation center. This center is concerned with finding happiness in life by providing yourself with more and better pleasurable sensations and activities. For many people, sex is the most appealing of all sensations. Other addictions sensations may include the sound of music, the taste of food, etc. 3. The power center. When your consciousness is focused on this center, you are concerned with dominating people and situations and increasing your prestige, wealth, and pride, in addition to thousands of more subtle forms of hierarchy, manipulation, and control. 4. The love center. At this center, you are transcending subject-object relationships and are learning to see the world with the feelings and harmonies of flowing acceptance. You see yourself in everyone, and everyone in yourself. You feel compassion for the suffering those caught in the dramas of security, sensation, and power. You're beginning to love and accept everyone, unconditionally, even yourself. 5. The cornucopia center. When your consciousness is illuminated by the center, you experience the friendliness of the world you are creating. You begin to realize that you've always lived in a perfect world. To the degree that you still have addictions, the perfection lies in giving you the experience you need to get free from your emotion-backed demands. As you reprogram your addictions, the perfections will be experienced as a continuous enjoyment of the here and now in your life. As you become more loving and accepting, the world becomes a horn of plenty that gives you more than you need to be happy. 6. The conscious awareness center. It is liberating to have a center from which your conscious awareness watches your body and mind perform on the lower 5 centers. This is a meta center from which you non-judgmentally witness the drama of your life and mind. From the center of centers, you learn to impartially observe your social rules and life games from a place that is free from fear and vulnerability. 7. The cosmic consciousness center. When you live fully in the 6th center of consciousness, you are ready to transcend self-awareness and become pure awareness. At this ultimate level, you are one with everything. You are love, peace, energy, wisdom, clarity, effectiveness, and oneness. At the 7th level, you are awareness. There is no you and there is no I at that center. And with the 3 lower centers being security, sensation, and power, and still knowing the perfection of everything and that we all signed up for it, how I can authentically come to anyone who watches this with an apology, as I'm not sorry about any of it, but I apologize because there is no separation. And any time that I operated out of security, sensation, or power, a lot of times people were triggered. And a very good brother, friend of mine, last year gave me the nickname the Cosmic Trigger Master, and it was a lot of fun, and it was very playful, because I also know that when we're triggered, that it allows us to see what programs, beliefs, addictions we still have within the awareness or within the experience. But I also know that every time we feel triggered, we feel separated. And no one wants to feel separate, but that's also part of this God game, this consciousness game, is that we can go from I, as in the letter I, or as most people refer to I, to the EYE, the oneness, to where there is no self. And so what makes this really exciting for me is I get to look at a lot of those times to where operating out of either the security sensation or power level of consciousness, a lot of people are triggered, therefore resulting in feeling an experience of separation. So in that sense, to anyone that I have triggered, I apologize. Because we all want to feel at one. And last night I had this huge realization of how this expands. In the sense of I, or in the sense of me, or in the sense of you, there is a wanting, there is a desire, which causes a seeking, or a seeing, or an expansion. If there was never any experience of the illusion of separation, there would be no asking. So it's not wrong in any way that we came to experience a sense of separation. But part of the game is coming back kind of like the infinity symbol. It comes back and it explodes on itself, comes back and it explodes on itself. Self, no self. Self, no self. Self, no self. And so, in the past week, about 4 or 5 days ago, right after finishing this book, I did a medicine journey. And one of the things that came to me, real quick, we've all heard we're all walking each other home. Everyone wants to have that sense, feeling, experience of being home. And when we're truly at home, we have no guard up. In our home, in our security, God-given security, when we're at home, we already feel secure. We already feel that sensation of love, and we feel the power of God moving through us. So there's two sides to those levels, first levels of consciousness, that are also beneficial and that are also within us. But if we're seeking security, pleasure, or power outside of us, we're relying on external forces, sources, that can pretty much always lead to disappointment because everything changes. So when we become reliant on an experience, we limit ourselves to other experiences. And so since we're all walking each other home, this practice came to me, this tool. And I've heard a lot of spiritual masters, we're all masters, but a lot of the ones who people know worldwide, to say to pick one spiritual practice and apply that. When you pick up a book, you start it and you finish it. And in the beginning, I understand, I did it as well. And real quick, I'd like to add, one thing I started doing playfully, instead of using the word I, me, or you, I started using the word this. This is all inclusive, without identification. So if someone says, how are you doing? Well, this is having a good day. And that also includes the other person. So if the other person isn't having a good day and they're like, Infinity, how's it going? And I'm like, perfect like this, or this is perfect, or this is having a perfect day. They get to feel it and it gets to bring them in. So one of the things that it talked about in the book was programming. I've recently, or this has recently, used the word beliefs, because we take on beliefs. And the only reason we take on beliefs is it's either a repeated action or repeated thought, or someone told us it, our parents, our elders, our seers, the ones we've looked up to, and we believed it. And it may have been something that someone told them and they believed. But who says it's the actual truth? It could be truth at the moment that it is first spoken, but at the moment it's first spoken, it therefore becomes the past and therefore becomes a belief. So whether you want to see it as addictions that we took on, beliefs, both, whatever it be, physical trauma, cellular memory, if we're all walking each other home, then the tool, or an ultimate tool, granted there's no incorrect spiritual practice. If it's all God, then it's all divine. But if we're all walking each other home, there's got to be a quick, efficient, affirmational, acknowledging way, as everything wants to be acknowledged, to bring everything home. And so it came to me, and I feel this more than any practice that this has done so far, in every thisness, or every one that I've shared it with so far in person. It's brought huge instant healing and liberation to whatever the experience would be. So whether it's fear, judgment, resentment, separation, whatever it is, I'll play with a few of them. And really feel how this feels for you. So separation. Welcome. I've been expecting you. Thank you for showing up. Welcome home. As I know, right here is home. And so I'll elaborate on this. We know what we resist persists. And as we're constantly saying, oh, give it to God, yes, I totally get that. And at the same time, but if it's this life experience is coming, whether it's a thought, a feeling, a repeated cycle that hasn't come to fruition yet, if we're trying to get rid of it and we're in resistance to it, it's going to continue to manifest. Should be pretty apparent for a lot of people that if life keeps on repeating things that you're not so fond of, there's a resistance to it. So when we welcome, we all want to feel welcome. You know how it is when you go to someone's house and you see the welcome home mat or the welcome mat. It has that sense of security, sensation, and power, but not in what we could call like the egoic way, or the me way, or the I way. Unidentified expectations. Analogy that's come through a few times. Say for the past 10 years, every Tuesday morning at 8 a.m., me and you, this and this, meets up for breakfast at 8 a.m. Every single Tuesday for 10 years. You could have a pretty unidentified or open expectation that I would be there next Tuesday. And today's Friday. Now, if I am there having breakfast with you, all of you watching this on Tuesday, that would be pretty groovy. Definitely be everywhere all at once. And so, as we state to it, or we look at it, I've been expecting you. Most people are like, don't have expectations. But also, when there is an expectation, like you wouldn't be surprised if I got to the restaurant on Tuesday and I was there. You would kind of expect it. So as we acknowledge to grief, doubt, uncertainty, neglect, separation, harmony, joy, passion, liberation, enlightenment, I've been expecting you. God wants to give you everything. God is all giving of itself, asking nothing in return. And is also not the Godhead is not the focus of its own attention. And I'll get to that one in a little bit. As that is the seventh level of consciousness, when there is no self. I, me, or you. Thank you for showing up. Everything in life is a gift. As we give thanksgiving, give thanks for everything. It acknowledges it and it embraces it. And then the final one, welcome home. And when you really feel it in the heart space, welcome home to whatever it is. There's tears that came and it was amazing. So, welcome joy. I've been expecting you. Thank you for showing up. Welcome home. Adversity. Welcome. I've been expecting you. Thank you for showing up. Welcome home. And you can use it with all of them. And if we're all on the path home, for me, I know, as of now, honoring and acknowledging that change is the only constant. But if it's all coming home, home being the disillusion of separation, then if I have a practice or use a practice or this uses a practice that brings that sensation of home, honor, acknowledgement, security, sensation, power, love, cornucopia, self-awareness to awareness, then that's what I'm going to continue to apply. And the connectedness level that I feel to everything, including this camera that I'm looking at, the voice coming out of this body, the ocean that's in front of me, all of it is growing exponentially fast. At some points it's almost kind of scary. So, welcome fear, welcome scary. I've been expecting you. Thanks for showing up. Welcome home. And I know, because I've experienced it, master of manifestation. We all like to manifest things and have things manifest. But I feel something every time someone says, "Oh, I'm manifesting this." I feel that sense of I, that sense of individual, that sense of separation. And lately, really for probably the past year or two, I haven't put any effort into manifesting. Because as I see it, this is the totality. I could be the totality, or God, or the universe, having an experience as a human body, and what life is like in that sense. The waves in the ocean never once question the ocean why the wave is going in the direction that it's going. And it never looks back to see where it came from. So I took the wave as a role model. I also took Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, and them as a model as well. And I never saw them really, or read anything about them talking about manifesting. And I'm sure there's something there. But with the 7th level of consciousness, pure awareness, cosmic consciousness, there is no you, and there's no I, and there's no me. So in that state, there is no me to do manifesting. So, out of all of creation, this universe, the infinite other universes, all of the experiences that have nothing to do with light, or universes, it's infinite and eternal, and trying to wrap the analytical mind around that is pretty much not going to happen. It's part of the play too. It doesn't need to happen. And as God is never the focus of its own attention, if I'm focused on me or I, knowing that everything is God, if I'm focused on me or I'm in the 6th or lower level of consciousness, which is fine, that's part of the play. But as the I, or the me, or the you disappears, the desire to manifest leaves. Because manifestation is always happening, because all of this is happening. It's all happening now. And also, I like surprises. If I got an email every morning from God saying exactly how my day was going, the thoughts of manifesting things and the people I would meet, I don't think I would really want to live it. It'd actually be pretty boring for me, what I call me. But for everyone who's had like a surprise birthday party, or surprised in any way, whatever it would be, that excitement, that joy, that childlike playfulness that comes through from surprises. And I know God already wants to give me everything. And as like I explained a little bit earlier, how expansion happens. You get the sense of individuality, wanting to experience something. Everything that you want to experience, I want you to experience as well, whatever it may be. Because I know this, all of this, is simply wanting to experience. And so we wobble in and out of identification. Self, no self, self, no self, self, no self. And we always come back to zero, or come home. Eventually, more and more people, more and more yous, or this is integrating the desire. So, welcome desire. I've been expecting you. Thank you for showing up. Welcome home. As the desire for a certain experience integrates or leaves, or whatever you'd like to call it, in this personal experience, that's when the magic of the universe really opened up. Because I could say, oh, I would like to experience X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3 in a certain way. But this is one fractal of the infinite, as the infinite. And as I stopped giving meaning to life, and allowed life to be the meaning, not seeking for a meaning of life, it applied to the same thing with manifestation. I don't know what the hell I want to experience. I want to experience this, whatever this is, in each moment. Because all experiences expand, grow. I love you all. You're amazing. Things are getting really fast, really exciting. The momentum is building amazingly. Because it's happening. It's like going on a roller coaster. It's chugga, 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 chugga. And all of a sudden you can hit the apex and head down. It's fucking awesome. It's a lot of fun. So to all of the things that you may be experiencing that are things that may still be in resistance, what you resist persists, and everything wants to be acknowledged. Everything wants to be in that sense of home, a sense of security, sense of sensation, and the sense of having that power that God gave you that's so perfect. And as it's like, you are the light, we are the light. But as beliefs, programs, structures, whatever it may be, are around the light, it dims it. You gotta run through the fire, gotta burn, reprogram, burn the beliefs, reprogram the addictions. And so when we welcome everything home, because there is no I, you, or me actually doing it, but we get to think that it is. Let go, let God. Get out of your own way. As we do that, by welcoming everything home, it becomes healed, integrated, acknowledged, embraced, honored, and so on and so forth. So play with it for a while. Try it on for size. And you may take it to another way. I just know that this is what works for this. With that, aloha. You're all beautiful. Stop trying so hard. Stop seeking. This moment is everything you've ever wanted it to be. And eventually that practice that I've shared with you, the tool of welcome, ... I've been expecting you. Thanks for showing up. Welcome home. That's a really good way to begin it. And eventually, it becomes a constant thanksgiving and welcome home to all experiences. And the more that you do that, the more that you play with it, the more you'll feel the tightness in the mind and the heart being alleviated. And eventually, all of you will disappear, every little bit, and you will simply be the experience that you've always been, without the identification of self. With that, this loves you. Aloha. Until next time.